Australia's banks are being urged to increase lending to small business. Small Business Minister Nick Sherry also says he wants banks to look again at the extra rates they're charging their non-corporate customers for risk. It's long been a sore point with people who run small businesses.
Small business has been complaining long and loud that banks have used the global financial crisis as an excuse to target them. Now respected banking analyst Paul Dowling has used an address to a banking conference in Sydney to back those claims. Mr Dowling believes there's an element of gouging in what the banks charge their business customers, particularly the higher interest rates charged to small business.
Most small business lending is secured against a family home, which is retail mortgage lending by any other name.
But business people using their homes as security for a loan are not charged retail mortgage lending prices. For example, the ANZ Bank website quotes the variable home loan rate at 7.41%. For small business borrowers, there's a business mortgage index variable rate of 9.12% or a business saver rate of 8.62%. Both these business loans must be secured against the family home.
They should not charge extra to someone who's using the same collateral. If I've got a house, and that's the end of it.
As head of the Council of Small Business Organisations of Australia, Peter Strong is well acquainted with the tactics used by banks. He says banks see small business owners as cash cows rather than as people.
And I think it's just the banks trying to make a bit of money out of it.
Not surprisingly, the banks have a different view. The Australian Bankers Association, which is the banking industry lobby group, says in the years leading up to the GFC there was a small business lending bubble which it says was unsustainable.
We are working in a very different world, and I think banks and businesses need to recognise that that is the case and work out, well, how do we continue to fund small business going forward.
Paul Dowling believes banks may be paying a price for their behaviour towards small businesses. He says rationed and very expensive credit is encouraging them not to borrow.
The latest lending figures from Canberra are out and they're fairly flat. Borrowing for housing and personal use in August is little changed from the month before. Commercial commitments fell 11%.